Teddy. Bixby's contract was more certainly not an overgrown cane rat. Suckers Jones, one of Molly's augmented ruffians, was suffering from a vicious mutation, which cost him his mind before you were forced to end his life. Molly herself may have work for you soon, and Dante's boss has a new module for Otto. Lucky was the day you made a home in Red Lantern Lane, a nexus of exotic vices in London's East End. Not only was there an opium den, but a laundry, a bathhouse. Everything you could need is close at hand. You'll never forget the excitement of finding the old clock tower abandoned and for let. Now it's hard to imagine any other home than this. Of course, the neighborhood has its less subterraneous aspect, which the noonday sun rather brutally exposes. Every different kind of vermin and pest seems to congregate here, animal and otherwise. Dockhounds, pimps, burglars, and street and sneak thieves all make their nighttime home. Not least, all make their nighttime home. Not least because the bobbies don't dare to thread here. The tread here, except for special occasions, or multiple murderers say. But none of this skullduggery and want troubles you in the slightest. If the sight of your mechanical arm and heavy weaponry doesn't dissuade any potential troublemakers, the steady glint of your eye more surely does. Titty! Bixby said we'd have a drink to celebrate my success with Sucker Jones. Boy, that's a centaur who can really hold his liquor. I'm still a titchy woozy. Nonsense. We should have had one more. Alright, Al, let's see the rest of today's business. After you, Mr. Teddy. And you are what? Why are you wary? Inventory. Do you have anything that raises hope? That... Eat that. Still not using that. Jen. And are you content? We'll take it. Arsenal engines. We gotta talk to Molly first. Let's see. Meet Dante at Arsenal Engines. Find his guard, of course. Ask Molly. What do we have? Oh yeah, never mind. I want to talk to Molly first, actually. I think. What's our... No, let's go get the wrench first. Actually. Yep, so to the wharf we go. I really like this. The airship is cool. There's Dante. Oh, Teddy, you made it. Oh, he moved. No denying the man's enthusiasm. I've always got time for a fellow dwarf. A welcome sentiment, but perhaps one day new technologies will allow the different races to stop competing with each other and embrace cooperation. Imagine if Dwarf Man and Cyclops all enjoyed the same rights and privileges. Oh, son of a gun. Pie in the sky, my friend. Prejudices, those prejudices are deep, are bone deep. I pray you're wrong about that, Mr. Redgrave. Let's get a ask for the steam wrench. About the little item we discussed earlier, the steam wrench. Ah, yes, I didn't forget. Use it in good health. Thank you. Mention the warehouse. You were really talking. You were really talking this place up earlier. Looks like just another warehouse to me. I told you my employer is big. Well, this is just one of the Arsenal's work sites. What do they take care of at this particular location? Good question, Otto. Here at the wharf, we assemble advanced machine components and parts for automatons. I'd offer to show you around, but they're running an inventory at the moment, and I don't want it to get underfoot. I already know who Dante has been working for, but I may as well let him gloat a little. He's clearly proud to be risen to his position. So is the big cheese running this operation. That beside is Brad, otherwise known as Lord Braxton. Being the in-the-know engineer that you are, Teddy, you must have already heard of him. I must admit I've heard the name. Arsenal devices are all over town these days. Arsenal. He's a Cyclops of some importance, both in industry and polite society. He's an undeniably brilliant inventor. On some days I even call him a genius. So he struggles to connect. Forgets to sleep and always misses a button on his boots. Lord Braxton pays another man to do those things for him. Although something about him gives me pause. He's working on a side project, the details of which he keeps jealously guarded, and I'm starting to think Lord Braxton shouldn't keep secrets from his top engineers. Not a ripe environment for invention. Well, I won't go into it now. You might as well see for yourself. His dirigible, also propel light adventure. Dirigible is moored upstairs. We can chat with him straight away. That is, if you're still keen on that upgrade for Otto. Ask about Otto's. What was that about the upgrade for Otto you mentioned? Yes, of course. We're calling it the Determination Core. I collaborated on the design, but the bulk of the credit goes Lord Braxton. It was his idea after all. The product itself is ready and waiting upstairs. Nah. There's something I need to take care of, Dante, but I'll come back just as quick as I can. No trouble, Teddy. You know where to find me. Oh, I'm not a happy camper of that, but do we want to drink? What do we have anything we can minus hope? Oh well, fruit. And he's also drunk. There shouldn't be anything else here. Oh, he's here again. The steam wrench is for... Oh yeah, the pump house. That is in the sewer. But we were able to get through. Rob. Maybe another time. Let's talk to Molly. If she's still here. Is she still here? Yep. I'm guessing we can still interact with the dog. Step away. Molly O'Malley. Well. It's the pint-sized hunter in the flesh. All right, Redgrave, what's the matter with you? Can you see I'm running business in town? Saw your wee spoonbotcher over on Tennis Street, flagging wristwatches. Rare bit of history you've got there. Oh yeah. Is it? All I know is it saves me paying a watchmaker to stand there answering customers' idiotic questions. Is there any business in London you don't have a piece of? I'm in the money business, Mr. Redgrave. If there was a profit in selling lollies to children in coal mines, I have a share of it too. Of that I haven't the slightest doubt. Besides, why should I let Arsenal take everything over with their blasted array of tin willies? Change the subject. Short of pictures. Otto, show her the picture you took of Sucker Jones' arm. Affirmative. Take a look at this souvenir I picked up on a recent job for Bixby. I believe it belonged to a man in your employ, called himself Sucker Jones. Molly makes a show of carefully examining the artificial appendage, but judging by her expression, I'm guessing her technical knowledge is next to nil. She exhales warily, almost sincerely, but I'm too familiar with her ways to believe it. Yeah, this is one of ours. It's very new tech. I'm sure you saw that right away. At least it survived Jones' explosion or whatever happened to him. What happened to him was a horrid death, but that doesn't seem to concern you. A flinty-eyed glare is all the answer you're getting of the topic. I have a few questions. I'm all ears. Where did the arm come from? I was having a bit of a wonder about the origins of this piece in particular. Oh? Oh. Are we going analysis? And there's a highly This is a highly advanced piece of machinery. Most of the components are custom tooled. Now I don't even recognize the alloy being used. I know you. Oh. A good friend of mine in Arsenal is certain it was developed there, but that's leaving off how it came into your hands. We just need to not roll a 1 or a 2. Oh wait, 0 required to succeed, so you just don't have to roll a 1. And we rolled the freaking fool. I rolled a 1. I'll leave that to your speculation. Since I cannot divulge the details, we're under strict contract, and our supplier is not the sort of person to be trifled with. Sucker Jones told Otto about a serum he was using. Miss O'Malley, Mr. Jones said that your organization supplied him with a serum to counteract an infection brought on by this augmentation. This serum seemed to have several unfortunate side effects. Yes, including uncontrolled cellular growth, wild mutations, and madness. She shakes her head as if musing upon fa- the fallables of an unruly child. The foibles of an unruly child. Honestly, they may look rough and tough, but these dockhounds need more minding than a gaggle of toddlers. Just look at what Jones did to himself. Wait, what do you mean did to himself? You installed the augmentation and you supplied the medicine to help him along, yes? Firstly, the installation wasn't the issue with Mr. Jones. Yes, he was supplied with an experimental serum to control a raging infection in his shoulder. Why should it be infected? Why should it be infected? That's one problem I've never had. It has to do with the joining of the muscle. You'd have to speak with our surgeon to get the details. Go on. But the serum has other beneficial effects as well. Aha! While it controlled the infection, it also boosted Jones' strength and stamina and his speed. It appears he became dependent on these boosts to his well-being and overindulged. That addiction was the root of all his problems, including his altered mind state. I have what you might call a personal interest in Sucker's augment. My own artificial leg gives me no end of trouble. It constantly needs adjusting, and the pain is careful. Mustn't give too much away. It's often uncomfortable. I even have to take a sedative once in a while if I've been walking on it all day. But you do not have a problem with infection. No, that's true. That's a bit of luck, I suppose. It's true that infection was one of our main problems with limb replacement due to the nature of the interface at the socket. The interface? Not sure what you mean by that. Let's leave that lie for the moment. Was there anything else you wanted? What about the dog? I meant to ask, is that one of your fighting dogs? That he be. Name's Hercules, in fact. You should really see him in action sometimes. Hercules is a fitting name for a dog of his size and apparent brawn. Got him a couple years back at a Demon Dog Show. I love a Demon Dog Show. Great for a small wager or simple to watch a Rosian hellhound breathe fire. It's a bloody good time. When I first saw Hercules, he was making his way through the obstacles without missing a beat. A bunch of muckermucks were there, including Silas Bragg. He's a fan of these rare beauties too. Lord, Braxton and Marty at the very same event. No question about it now, they must be doing business together. Oh. It's a fine thing to watch. A beast who obeys their master without hesitation, unlike a lot of folks who work for yours truly. I know the feeling. Too many times I've been walked on by a gun-shy contractor I had hired on a hunting job. In your business, Redgrave, I can't say I blame you. Any road. I spoke to the dog's owner, son of a bloody cane rat wouldn't give him away. Sentimental attachment, he said. I have a feeling this is where good old Betteredge meets Mr. Betteredge get interested tell. So I had Jeremy show him a whole new perspective, so to speak. One that looks up the daisies from 6 feet under, and now the dog's mine. What is he trained for exactly? Killing, of course. Other dogs mostly. Although he's rather poor at rat bait. Might be able to train him to breathe fire too. A fire-breathing dog like London doesn't have enough monsters. Based on her story, I'm not convinced that the dog is the monster here. That's true. Okay, I reckon I'm satisfied for now, but it looks like you've got something to say? I believe we may be able to help each other. We have a leg in your size, or close enough for adjustment at least. And my surgeon is very keen to try it out. Give up my own handcrafted leg for one of hers. Hear me out before you answer. There's more to this new generation of artificial limbs than you know. The device is integrated into your nervous system. through a series of tiny components. After installation, you will benefit from direct neural feedback. Hello. What that means is not only control over the leg, but sensation as well. If it works as expected, you'll have the natural experience of walking, running, and jumping again. What about Sucker Jones' madness? I'm not keen to leaves me bleeding mind. And that's what we like, our mind. Less of the drama, please. It doesn't suit you. I don't mind taking risks. I've been to war, and I'm a dwarf after all. What you have to say about the post-operation serum doesn't exactly inspire hope. Then you should talk to Dr. Wainwright. The two of you share a common hunt, the Red Lotus Opium Den. Might be where he dreams up such exquisite formulas. I know the place. You better talk to him sooner rather than later. I don't know if he'll be hanging about the den all day. He's a busy man. I have to go directly to the den and find Dr. Wainwright. That is, if I'm serious about this. Speak with the doctor, then come right back. I don't have all the time in the world to help you with this. Alright, then I'll speak to the doctor and come back straight away. That's a good lad. See you later. Are you really? I'm not a fan of this. I mean, no parts of it. Back to the dwarf. Huh. Trying to remember how we got in the place, the sewers. Glenn, anything new, Glenn? I mean, Otto is on it with him. Actually, let's do this really quick. Where are we? Where are we still? Want to purchase a cog. Let's see. I want to tell him. Every time I adjust the gate to match my good leg, it all works fine for a day or two until I jar it in some way. Nothing serious, mind. Quit stepping out of the path of a carriage enough to set it awry. Embarrassing is what it is. Then I'm rolling down the street again like an old sea dog fresh off the boat. If you can't keep it calibrated properly, it might need to be rebuilt altogether. I suggest a better alloy than plain steel. 2. That'll be expensive. Oh, I know. Well, they're setting out in a fortnight. It's a 4-year tour, and you'll sneak a blower the whole time, but... Enough. Next time I find myself a bloody magpie to ask for advice. I always want to pull my leg, the fellow dwarf. You all good then? Let's head to the airship. Ready to meet Lord Braxton? Yeah. I don't know how I feel about meeting that doctor. Revolutionary feats of engineering and shameless displays of wealth, a common sight in London, yet rarely does one come across that which combines technological prowess and financial abundance. Enter Silas's airship, its gilded frame and sheer size, literally and figuratively casting a deep shadow over the city slums and wealthy districts. Shafts of sunlight filter through windows that wrap around each of the airship's rooms, bathing them and their occupants in a warm glow. Pipes and polished wooden floors rumble in the spinning of the airship's propellers. You feel like you're standing within a slice of the future. traveling trunk. I suppose for a Silas goes all over the continent in his dirigible. Traveling like that must be good for the soul. Wayne Cotting? What a beautiful skullwork, surely handcrafted, and it must have taken ages. Bookcase. Book's hard to look worn. Either he doesn't have time to read or he's showing off. Globe. Someone's ambition spans the globe. Wonder how far Oscar engines will go in the future. Clock. Looks like a Rambach and Hans from Germany. I'm conflicted about these devices. The craftsmanship is enviable, but the thing itself is ridiculous. They're supposed to keep good time. That's counting for something. The notebook. Lots of numbers and drawings on there. Perhaps that's where Silas jots his ideas down. Not that I want to closely study them, because I have to respect the fellow engineer's privacy. Ah, there it is, London in its glory and squalor. I can almost make out the Kensington from here. Statue. A towering figure offering something invigorating. Apt metaphor for industrialists, bringing technological marvels to society. I will look around. Phonograph? I should give myself one. Listening to music helps make time go faster while working. Wine rack? Affordable wines, all bearing single-digit ages. Only sign of monetary restraint in this lavish airship. Alright, let's do the couch. And then Dante. A cozy parlor for afternoon tea or whiskey. So much luxury doesn't seem right on a ship, even if it is an airship. And Dante. Many of the more advanced components that allow the dirigible to fly and maneuver were made by Arsenal. Is that so? Yes, this organization is the future of the Empire. I believe that all the way down to my bones. You'll see what I mean once you've had the chance to meet Silas. Oh, here he comes now. This fellow certainly has Dante's loyalty also, no. So, I mean, we have to watch what we say. Mr. Bragg, hello. So glad you found the time to meet with us. This is the capable inventor, Teddy Redgrave, and his personal automaton, Otto. Mr. Redgrave, Otto, pleased to make your acquaintance. Oh, as we were discussing the other day, I think Otto will make the perfect test case for that speech erasing technology we've been working on. My speech patterns are very advantageous. Did he mean advanced? Seems like there's still room for improvement. Son of a gun. My, what a precious little machine. Don't worry, Otto. Any changes we make will be for the better, I promise. Now, Mr. Redgrave, according to Mr. Ziegler, Otto is entirely your design. Is that correct? Yes. Otto is my creation and mine alone, but you understand he's more of a friend than to me than a servant. Marvelous. I feel the exact same way about certain of my own projects. Mr. Redgrave really is one of a kind, sir. I place my faith in him 100%. Oh, thanks, Dante. I wonder, Mr. Redgrave, if you know anything about Arsenal's history. Arsenal Engines is more than a money-making machine. Any simpleton can manage that. My aim is technology for the masses. the small, the ignorant, the indigent. I wish to make the same miracles possible for them for millionaires as for millionaires like myself. He must want to be known for another motivation besides the typical greed of business magnates. If I don't chase this greatest of dreams, then some less charitable tycoon will take the lead. Possibly a plutocrat with too much stake in the petroleum fuel engines. Bloody ghastly that stuff is. Ridiculous. Many of our newfangled technologies owe their pedigree to the discovery of drowned Atlantis and her steam-powered wonders. Since your company is so adamant in the field, I must ask, was Arsenal involved in that expedition? And a still question. Yes, my father was. Well, he was ahead of his time. I don't like to brag about his involvement in the discoveries of Atlantis, but really, how else could a Cyclops have built an industrial empire like Arsenal? And of course, he paid the price for his genius. A terrible thing. Sounds like there's a hidden tragedy behind the fortune. Excuse me, are you saying your father suffered some misfortune? He was killed in an accident. Notice he said his father was killed rather than he had passed on. Oh. Just need a 3. Tragedy is tragedy is sometimes the crucible that makes a dwarf or cyclops. I hope you feel the same, Mr. Bragg. Wow, we got 100. I know my father will wish it so. Understand that I hadn't planned on discussing my past, and I need no man's pity, but very well. He and my mother were murdered by a shadow-skulking coward. Someone rigged their carriage with an explosive. I lost my legs in the same incident. Anyone will feel a deep emptiness after that. Could his grandstanding and achievements be his way of filling the void? My father was assassinated, you understand. The paper said that it was industrial espionage, a jealous competitor. I saw he was killed because he was a cyclops who had risen above his station, above what society deemed acceptable. He wasn't simply a genius inventor and industrialist, but a philanthropist as well. And from what I've heard, a man who wished to better the lives of others, not only his own kind. He wished equality for all the species, as do I, and he staked his life on the dearly held belief as I have. But London was not yet ready for a Cyclops to succeed at my father's level, especially one who strove to uplift the entire species. Losing Richmond Bragg was a blow to society itself. But I overcame the devastating losses of that day to build on the businesses that left me. On the business he left me. Now Arsenal is a juggernaut of industry. I won't say I accomplished all this alone. Anyone who calls himself an island is a liar. Is an island I call a liar. By building himself an empire, he's put some distance between his past and current selves. Yet it is better to outrun one's inner wounds rather than treat them. Yet is it better to outrun one's inner wounds rather than treat them. Nowadays, my position is hard for muckety mucks to ignore. But if London isn't ready for this Cyclops, then she had better watch her back. But enough, let's not dwell on the morbid subjects. Cater your best technology to the poor. The ideal has merit, but I wonder if it's achievable. Nothing could be simpler, my good fellow, or at least it's simpler for a company operating at Arsenal's level. I shall establish a few key items that every man can use. Better clear the earwax of oh Teddy, you want to hear this. Example. A self-renewing light source, or a small pattern car for moving heavy items or carrying goods at the market, things like that. I subsidize the initial production cost to sell these things at prices which simply cannot be refused, thereby undercutting the competition. To my own quite numerous workers, I will offer deferred payment deducted from their salary. Excuse my asking, but wouldn't that be inordinately expensive? I don't wish to sound like a braggart, but it would be a little more than a new line. But it would be a little more than a line item for me. Alongside the introduction of these few mechanical assistants for the common man, autom- autom- automation means more efficiency in my factories and and more productivity for the individual worker. But the honest laborers would have to adapt. It's a good point, Dante, but we will help them to do so. Because of what we're because of what we'll save on overall efficiency, we can increase pay across the board. Winning higher wages, our workers will then be able to purchase even more of our life exchanging technology. What if other companies are wise enough to catch on and start to mimic Arsenal? Then all the better. Competition is healthy in a case like this. That sounds business, but there's something else on my mind. Perhaps I should ask him all that I can. It seems hard to book a meeting with. Sir, I'll see that you suffer from a paucity of operational limbs, much like myself. Is this carriage your own design? It is. I was quite proud of it at the time, but I fear I settled for too little. That is an error of judgment I do not allow myself anymore. I am designing a mechanical leg similar to your own. Well, no, that's correct. That's not precisely correct. He's speaking of an uninterrupted neural feedback. Ooh, this sounds like what Molly was talking about. That's right, Dante. I won't simply convey me. It won't simply convey me about on my errands, but transmit the same nerve impulses and adds an actual leg, foot, and toes. The bold industrialist gives my own enhancement, though old once over. Your own prosthetics are quite clever, obviously better than something one could pick up at the hobby shop, but the ones I'm working on will surpass the function of natural limbs. Stand up for yourself and your mechanical enhancements. Did I hear you correctly, sir? Did you just compare this leg of mine to a G-Gall one could find in a tinker's shop? I have you know I've stood on this very leg to face the horrors as to make a stoic wit what his breach, to face such horrors. Can I say the same? Oh, crap. So you say the same about that little toy engine? Insulting the very conveyance which compensate for his disability will perhaps not be the wisest move. Come now, Teddy, you can't. I can answer for myself, thank you, Dante. It's natural for two men of intellect like ourselves to compete. Perhaps not only natural, but desirable. But the the miraculous device of which you speak are yet to come. While your handsome invention is already serving its owner, and by your account quite admirably. For that reason, I do not hesitate to concede the argument. Oh, silence isn't horrible. Dante has raised my interest about the module you have designed, but I haven't heard much in the way of specifics. Brilliant. Please frame me in if I start to rumble, Mr. Redgrave. I can be quite verbose when I come to such a fascinating topic. The new module you speak of is the determination core. I had originally conceived of a very complicated series of punch cards, but it would have been too bulky. In the time room by my estimates, too many punch cards. Exactly, Otto, and it would have required a separate machine to swap them out. Consolidated workflow, one machine instead of two. The determination engine is installed alongside the regular punch card reader. It facilitates sophisticated branching logic through the use of tiny juxtaposed cylinders covered in minuscule protrusions, and not unlike a series of interlocking music boxes. That's a lot of delicate pieces, all stored with a small device. I will need to fetch my diagrams to explain it properly, but suffice to say that once it's installed, both Alo's linguistics and decision-making abilities will be significantly increased, exponentially so in fact. My speech patterns are very are very advantageous. I go so far to say Otto will be the smartest automaton in London. And if you say in London, you might as well say in the world. Seeing is believing. I reserve judgment for now. In the world, yes, that is positive. Is the new module safe? The level of self-awareness is amazing for a one-man or one dwarf project. But yes, my brass friend, it is precisely safe. With all due respect, Mr. Bragg, the sooner money changes hands, the sooner I can get to tinkering and Otto can start employing his new facilities. I like new facilities. Indeed, I won't bother you with the actual cost involved with the termination engine creation. I have no wish to make you dizzy. Dante and I will consider you a partner in this venture. Because you know the ins and outs of your creation, you'll be well suited to test the working protocols of Arsenal's new device. While you and Otto enjoy enhanced functionality, we profit from your expert observation and advice. Therefore, we only ask a deposit of £10. We shall conceive if, let's say, in 6 weeks. Compare those, and you'll be amenable. And you're amenable to discuss. And if you're amenable, discuss payment in full. I don't have £10 at the moment. Judging by the look on your face, it seems quite uncommon for a chap like you to be down to the felt. Don't worry, Redglaive. We can settle up later. I'm sure you're good for it. Take a good look, my friend. You'll be the first field test. If this test requires a field, then we shall have to go far outside London, Mr. Teddy. I've done my best to convey the importance of this project, Mr. Redgrave, but truly, you are part of something even bigger than what we've discussed. How's that? Oh, sometimes I feel as though my jaw is setting on a separate engine to my brain, but I've enjoyed our conversation so much. I simply must tell you in confidence, mind, the next couple of days we'll be testing the mechanical application of a similar device on blooded species. Then his machinations are not only for automatons, curiously interesting. But I'm under contract, and more than that I cannot say. Now I bid you a good day, Mr. Redgrave. I look forward to bearing your opinion in 6 weeks' time. We'll talk soon, Teddy. Good day, Mr. Redgrave. Otto. Good day. Huh.